Welcome back to the Let's Talk About It podcast. My name is Raquel and I am your host. What's up, y'all? Like, it's been a minute. I'm not consistent. We know this about myself, or I know this about myself. Um, I guess life be lifing, or maybe I just don't have enough discipline. I don't know, but I'm here. I made it. That's a step forward to bettering myself, staying consistent with the podcast, and just bring you guys authentic information about mental health, about work-life balance, and just really trying to figure out our purpose in this thing that we call life, and knowing that it's just extremely hard to do with whatever life's obstacles bring you, and knowing that like you can't give up. And that's where I am right now. And I just know I can't give up. Like I can't stop going. I was telling my wife the other day, and I think I've done this before, but shout out to my wife. She is literally my backbone. She really does just, I wouldn't know where I would be without her. And with us having a baby and the things that we want to do, and us just trying to continue to make this marriage the best marriage that we possibly can, with communication and everything, I just want to say thank you, baby. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being a great mom to our child. Thank you for being a great partner, a great friend, and just loving me unconditionally, and understanding that I'm just the type of person that I am. So now that we got all that good stuff out the way, um, I want to talk about the fears of failure, not really liking who you are or liking the person that you're becoming, and also being a little hard on yourself. For me, I found myself not liking the fact that I'm not disciplined, not liking the fact that I won't start a routine and stick to the routine, and not liking the fact that financially I feel like I should be more responsible. Granted, I've come a long way. Like I have to give myself those wins, but it's still like something in my head, those negative thoughts that keep telling me, Raquel, you just not there yet. Like this is why you haven't gotten the things that you desire, because you haven't reached the point to where you would even take care of what you were to be blessed with. And not to mention like going into those negative thoughts and that dark place in my mind, my walk with God gets shaky. I don't spend time in my Bible. I pray. Like I had a conversation with God yesterday. Was it yesterday? Earlier this week. And, I was having issues with work and just feeling like things should go a certain way, and they're not going the way that I think that they should go, and just letting it affect me to a point to where my day is ruined. And I hadn't had a one-on-one talk with him in a very long time, so I caught myself, y'all caught myself cursing in my prayer, and just really, again, being authentically myself and talking to him and having a conversation, just saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know why I keep allowing these emotions, or the fact that how I see things are not how I think things should go. It's not happening. And just to give you a little background, just like for me, I'm big on communication, especially at work. I'm big on teamwork. And when I feel like somewhere in between it's dropping like the company is dropping the ball, it affects me, especially when I'm passionate about my job. If I feel like policies and procedures and processes aren't working out the way that it should, especially with my background, and what I do, I'm just like, I get checked out. And in my mind, I feel like that has a lot to do with my entrepreneurial spirit, motivation, and the want to be an entrepreneur, or the want to have my own business. But then it's just like, well, this is what pays your bills. It shouldn't affect you. It shouldn't affect you to the point to where you just like checked out for the rest of the day and you don't even want to work. So I really don't want to get back to that point. Like, I really want to just clock in, do my job, and be gone. Like, I mean, granted, put your best foot forward, but I don't want to be so invested into a company that really isn't as invested as in me as I am in it. So, I had a conversation with God, just like, help me control my attitude, help me control my emotions. I don't know why I am the way that I am, but you created me as I am, and I need help maneuvering who I am. I need help getting to the next level, getting to the next step, and I need help being disciplined. I need help with consistency. And I would never say like things are perfect, but I think, as we all do, things get a little bit good and a little bit easier to deal with. And we lose that momentum to go to God and pray. We lose that momentum to pick up your Bible and read scriptures. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it. And so I'm really trying to get back into finding time for myself with God, um, being more clear on the things that I need and want that's going to bring me peace, and not allowing things that I can't change to affect my day, like affect my week, affect how I deal with my wife, affect how I play with my son. Like, I want to be happy when I play with him. I want to be, I want to be able to laugh with him when he laughs, but when I'm going through something and I allow it to just ruin my complete mood, it's hard to give that side of me. And I found myself in that space, and it's a sucky place to be in. Like, and when I think about not liking the person that I am, I don't like that about myself. Like, I don't know about y'all, but there are times when things happen, or I have a reaction, or a lack of a reaction, and I'm just like, I hate that about me. And I really want to change it. Like, when I set an alarm clock to do something and I press snooze, I hate that about myself. Like, I really want to be that person who jumps out of bed, who has a routine, who goes and works out. Like, I've said that, I'll get lipo once we are blessed with our second baby, God willing. But I also want to have in my mind, like, not even have in my mind, I want to have the bragging rights to say, girl, you worked out. You got that stomach flat. You ate healthy. You were disciplined. I want that for myself. And to think that I would pretty much, what's the word? I don't know the word right now. But to think that I would not give myself the benefit of the doubt to know that I would be able to do it, it really sucks. So that's what I want to talk about today. Is just like feeling like you aren't where you want to be. And I feel like I go in circles about this. And I guess because that's where I am in my life. So I hope, my topics and the things that I bring to the platform, you're able to really relate to them and understand that sometimes it's going to take a couple of times of me talking about the same thing over and over until I come to a solution with what I need to do. And I don't have all the answers. I'm going through this every day. My God, like, I don't know. Life is just life. And I don't think anybody truly knows how to maneuver through life to a point to where nothing goes wrong, or you may have the tools to deal with the things that go on, and not allow it to affect you tremendously, or maybe affect you for a moment but not for like the entire day. But I'm not there yet, and I want to be there. I want to be that person. I want to be that person for my son, to teach him and give him those tools. And I want to be able to grow in my career and understand that it's a job, and I have to present myself in a professional way and not get upset, and also not complain about everything. I don't want to be a complainer. Um, and I just feel that that's the major part of me. Like, all of those things that I don't want to be, those are the major parts of me, which makes me like, ugh, Raquel, like, ugh. But I want to commend myself, because instead of giving up, instead of saying that I can't be a better person, I try. Even if I'm not consistent, I try. That's one thing about myself that I would say is I try. One thing I am consistent with, and I have been consistent with, is school. I graduate next October 2024. Yay me. Um but that's one thing I can say that I'm very consistent with in my personal journey. And I just also want to add other things to that. Like, I just don't know how to do it yet. And if anybody is out there that, you want to be this better version of yourself, my only advice for you is take it a day at a time. Give yourself grace. Write it out in your journal, and just try. Every time you try, it gets easier and it gets better. At least I think so. And pour into yourself with positivity. Read your scriptures, listen to positive podcasts, or if you don't want to hear the outside noise, just be one with yourself. Pray, write in your journal, and just find the solitude. And I'm speaking this for myself, because I'm not one to really just get a lot of advice from people. I do try to listen to, great sermons and different motivational podcasts to kind of get me up and going. And it usually helps. But, we all have to do what helps us get to where we want to be in our journey. And I would say that I'm thankful that God wakes me up every day to figure out my journey, to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. Because I know a lot of people say this these days, but I know that I'm not supposed to be working a 9 to 5. I know that with all of the talents, my voice, the things that I want to talk about, the things that I want to say, everything that God has blessed me with, I just feel like I'm not supposed to be working a 9 to 5. Or if I am supposed to be working a 9 to 5, I'm supposed to be making a major difference within the company that I'm working. Because there's nothing wrong, y'all. It's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. It really is not. But I think there's something wrong with it when you're not happy and it doesn't bring you joy. It doesn't make you feel like you're fulfilled, and it's just you clocking in and you clocking out. And some people can live like that, but those who are really looking for that spark in their life and their job, and it's not that having a 9 to 5 is the problem. It's just you haven't found the right 9 to 5. So I really want people to know that it's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5. If you truly believe that that's the company that you want to spend the next 20 years at, go for it. I believe that people should definitely experience other companies and get that experience and skill set under your belt. That's how I got to where I am in my career. And I think it's helped, like not being at one company for 5-10 years at a time. I digress. But yeah, I just have been feeling really down about who I am, not giving myself grace. And I was telling my wife, like, I'm tired of getting on this podcast and not having anything super exciting to say. Like I feel like what I express and what I talk about is very authentic and relatable. But I want to get to a point in my life where, and in this podcast journey, where I can report that I had an amazing week. I can report that things are shifting in the way that I want them to shift. But I also have to know that God has a plan for me in my life. God has a plan for me and my family. And as impulsive as I am, I can't allow that to shake my faith. And I can't allow me being impulsive to try to get to where I think I'm supposed to be before God opens the door for me to walk through. And that's why I love this podcast, because when I sit in this chair and I talk to y'all, like I can talk out loud my issues and the things that I'm going through. And then when I say certain stuff, I'm like, duh, Raquel, why you ain't think about this before you get on the podcast? Like, you could have saved yourself some tears and some isolation time if you would have just said what you just said just now. It's crazy. It's just amazing what speaking in a place where you feel safe will do to you, and the realization that you'll get. So, I also want to say Happy Pride Month. I made it towards the last. I did not celebrate Pride. I did not go to any Pride events. It was hot as hell in Houston, Texas, in general. But I'm glad, it was another year for the LGBTQ plus community, and I was happy to see everybody enjoyed themselves, and love was spread. People that weren't part of the community supported the community, and that's what it's all about. Just the life is just about us supporting each other in the best positive way possible. And I wish it was always like this. Like, I wish life in general was a pride parade all the time, if that makes sense. And I say that because just like, people who aren't a part of that community are just supporting that, the LGBTQ plus community. And it's just nothing but love being spread in that sense. That is what I'm referring to. And I just wish the world would just love on each other. Like, it's so much stuff going on out in the world. It's so many people dying for stupid shit and people doing just dumb stuff. Like, it don't even make sense. It really doesn't. It's actually a scary world to bring kids into. And I think about that all the time with my child and the one that we want, our second baby that we want to have. And I'm just like, Lord, how am I going to let go? Because things are crazy. Like, I didn't grow up and I think every generation says this, is like, I didn't grow up like that. But I don't recall. I don't know. It's going to be hard. I'm all for homeschool. My kids will be homeschooled until they say that they're ready to be around other kids. I mean, granted, they will have their own interaction with other kids to make sure that they're sociable, but for the most part, they will be homeschooled. And again, I digress. So, I just want to tell everybody, like, if you are feeling down about who you are, about where you are in your journey in your life and finding your purpose, and you feel like you just not have made it yet, don't give up. Keep going. You got to keep going. I did not just do that. My sister sends me that song all the time. Every time I'm going through something, she sends me that Janae Aiko song. Is it Aiko? Aoki? Don't quote me. She sends me that Janae song, Gotta Keep Going or Keep Going. Is it Keep Going? I don't know at this point. Anyway, but yeah, y'all you gotta keep going. Don't give up. Take it a day at a time, a morning at a time. And anything that you truly want to do, anything that you really feel like that's your purpose or the start of getting towards your purpose, do that. Pray on it. And sometimes we can't tell other people about it because that, interferes with our progress, and people prey on your downfall all the time. Keep things to yourself until you're ready to share those things, and work on yourself as an individual. And sometimes isolation, and I always say this, like isolation is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Not gonna lie, it has gotten lonely. It has been lonely, but I have definitely learned, like, if you don't compliment the way that I'm moving in my life, we just can't rock with each other. And that's okay. It's no hard feelings, no harm foul. So, yeah. But I am happy that I came back to the podcast. I'm happy to have this discussion with you guys. I hope that you follow me on TikTok, Instagram under Let's Talk About It Podcast. Follow the Apple Podcast under Let's Talk About It Podcast. And follow Spotify under Let's Talk About It Podcast. I will be dropping episodes, if not every Sunday, every other Sunday. I will be bringing you what I can bring you to where I can continue to enjoy what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. If you guys want more, if you guys have questions, please feel free to comment, reach out under any of those platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, RSS feed, anywhere you can find me. Reach out. Let's talk about it. Give me something to bring to the platform that I can discuss with you guys, and let's be authentic. Let's get away from what people are doing on social media and what people are showing, and let's be honest with where we are mentally. Let's be honest with where we are physically. Let's be honest with where we are financially. And not to be in your business, but if you feel like you need help, hey, just let's talk about how we could probably exchange advice on how we can get to where we want to be, because life is all about helping people. Don't gatekeep. Don't gatekeep now. Don't gatekeep. Help me help you. In general, help me. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Let's Talk About It podcast. I will see you next time.